since we're on the Kyle Shanahan topic, is Kyle Shanahan the leader for Coach of the Year?
Ooh, I like that because normally I feel like normally that would go to a coach that's like it normally goes to if a team maybe had really low expectations and they really overperform. But right now, NFL teams doesn't the NFL like teams are like not looking good. I don't know if it's maybe the Niners look so dominant that like just in comparison, I'm like kind of side eyeing all these other teams. But I feel like yes, is long story short. I think he definitely should be. I know that I feel like him having so much like Purdy, maybe not getting the credit because of all the guys he plays with, even though people know that Kyle Shanahan is such a good coach. I think because he has a good team, he has a less like maybe less opportunity to win. Or else, cause same thing, like Andy Reid doesn't win every year, even though he's probably the best coach in the NFL every year. It's just because he has Patrick Mahomes, so it usually goes to a team like last year went to the Giants with Brian Daboll, just because their expectations were so low that them doing like mediocre to good was so surprising. But right now, when you look at the other teams, I don't see why he wouldn't. And especially I think if the national media also starts kind of having these conversations that you and I are and that a lot of 49er content creators and media people are about him changing, because it's not like in my opinion it's not just that he's doing the same thing he's always done and maybe has a better quarterback. I think like you can kind of, and it is that in the sense that like the down the field shots were always there, but I think his attitude and demeanor has changed so much that if they were to keep that up, especially if they did face some adversity and um I know that the playoffs don't really matter, but for me, if he were to make that hump and win the Super Bowl, like that change would be so impactful because he hasn't been able to make that hump. But yeah, I think he should. I think he should at least be in that conversation. I don't know. I don't know if he'll win it, just because I think all these awards are kind of confusing. I think maybe Christian McCaffrey should win MVP, but he's a running back, so we're talking about Brock Purdy more. I do think Kyle Shanahan, whether or not he would win Coach of the Year, is coaching like a Coach of the Year. He's scheming on, in my opinion, a new level, and I do think it goes back to that trust and connection he has with Brock, but also he's always been really well. And maybe Mike McDaniel could be in the conversation. I know they've done really well, but I think the 49ers have faced. Do you think that this is true? Do you think the 49ers have faced better teams than the Dolphins? I think coming off that Denver Broncos, everyone was like super high on them. And I still think that they're going to be really good. But then they lost what by like 25 to um, the Bills. And it's like, okay, well, yeah, you beat up on Denver, but the freaking not Browns, the Justin Fields Bears. The Bears almost beat Denver. So it's not, to me, that's not the what we should be grading. We shouldn't be grading teams on how well they do against Denver. Was my point.
Yeah, I think the Dolphins have played solid teams. I mean, it's you are what your record says you are. Every team in the NFL is good. Um,
Mhm.
I'm a believer of that. I think every team has good players. It's all about coaching at the end of the day. Which coaching staff is better, and that's what
Yeah.
eventually wins. And then how do you develop the talent? And I think right now, I think Kyle Shanahan is for sure coach of the year. Like it's no questions for me. It's no questions about it. When you have
I like your
um,
decisiveness on this.
yeah, so when you have a quarterback who tears his UCL in the NFC Championship, you bring him back. Everyone, the biggest question was, do the 49ers have a quarterback? That was the question coming into the season, right? Like
Yeah.
everyone, like every big time media was like, "Oh, Sam Darnold is there." Well,
Steve Young, come on.
you're passing up on Brock, right? Brock and Kyle's offense is scoring 30 points a week. 30, and then what you can't deny, Kyle's also coaching the defense in a way. This is
Yeah.
his style of defense. He put together this style of defense because he said this is the hardest defense I coach against. This is the kind of defense that shuts my offenses down. So I believe uh he's for sure coach of the week, coach of the year. I gotta address the comment, Ashley. NFL
No, I
doesn't hate us
just
because of cap. Don't bring that stuff
yeah.
in here. It's
Sorry,
not.
I'll block this. I
No, you're good.
just
You're good.
was
You don't
thinking of
like.
that as well.
But to me, the NFL doesn't hate us because of cap. That's not true. Um, but for me,
I also don't
I
think the NFL hates the 49ers at all. I think they've been loving this narrative.
I think
On
they absolutely. This is a why
yeah.
wouldn't you not like the 49ers who have Mr. Irrelevant leading the way? You have what they're literally. This is a Disney Channel movie
Yeah.
in the making. Like this is legit a Disney Channel movie in the making. And if someone needs me to produce it, I'll produce it. I'll sign the contract right now. We'll make millions of dollars to produce this movie. Um, but for sure, you can't see like I understand Coach of the Year goes to teams that were expecting to do bad, but realistically, I'm gonna ask you something, Ashley.
Yeah.
If you were on a team, do you ever expect to do bad?
No, that's true. Like every team
No.
comes in thinking that they're the
Super
most
Bowl,
prepared. But I also think that you're probably like aware, like I don't know, but maybe I'm wrong. When we were coming into the season, I was like, I feel like the Cardinals players all think that they're gonna lose. But then they came out and they're acting like they're like, what? You thought we were gonna do that? That's crazy. That's definitely
right?
not what
Like
we're gonna do.
it's a mentality. I think at the end of the day, you got to have that mentality. Is you're the best team in the league, and you got to play hard and stuff like that. So I think Kyle Shanahan 100% deserves Coach of the Year, and if he doesn't win it this year after um whatever record we end with and phenomenal. I don't think we end with a bad record. I think we'd probably be 15-2, 16-1 possibly. It's a very friendly schedule for the 49ers. How do you not win Coach of the Year after having that great of a year, leading the NFL in defense, top two, top three defense in points per game? I believe they're number one right now in points per game. Your offense is up there with the league leading team. How are you not Coach of the Year? Like, there's a
Yeah.
possibility of the Niners having Coach of the Year, MVP, and
Offensive
Offensive
player of the
Player of
year.
the Player of the Year, and the Defensive Player of the Year. That is
Yeah.
insane. It's absolutely ridiculous.
That's what they gotta win the Super Bowl this year, man. Like they gotta they have a lot of juggernauts on they have a lot of amazing players. They have the best one of the best coaches. I know Andrew Reid exists, but in my opinion, with how dominant they are, they need to get this to the Super Bowl. And if I'm Kyle Shanahan, I feel like I need to. This is the year to win it. This is. I mean, they've never came out so. Even in 2019, the offense didn't look like this. You know what I mean? Under this regime, I feel like Kyle Shanahan has never coached a team that has looked so um, dominant before. I know that that's a maybe overused word, but it just is pretty incredible. So this is, in my opinion, this is the year to do it. This is the year to hopefully make that hump. But I'll end this I'll end this now. But I had such a great time talking with you. I do want wait why I blocked the comment. Educate the dude. Um, I'll put this up just because I am newer to YouTube and everything, and I just want to like make it super clear that I'm um, any sort of slander for anything that Kaepernick did, or anyone who does anything like that. I won't tolerate on this channel. Um, I think that anyone who's maybe confused about what he did should look into the racial discrimination that goes on within police and police force and police brutality. And I think it was a super important cause. And especially in 2023, there's absolutely no use for anyone who um, wants to make comments against that. I don't think he did anything wrong. I know that at the beginning of this year, I think it was when Aaron Rodgers was hurt, Kaepernick wrote a letter to the Jets saying, asking to come on. He's made other statements saying that he
Mhm.
would be willing to be a backup, and I think it's pretty embarrassing that the NFL has, in my opinion, kind of blackballed him from being able to have a chance. There's no reason even if he's not a starter, there's no reason he couldn't be a backup in the league right now. And I think the way the 49ers treated him and that the way a lot of fans treated him at that time was just extremely ignorant. And yeah, I definitely don't want anyone making any sort of comments like that in my comment section. And if I would have seen it earlier, I would have blocked it